Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. If you're not part of the channel, make sure you subscribe, like this video, share this video. If you want to learn the Bible in more ways than one, we have Robert Breaker at the bottom in the description box where he breaks it down on the chalkboard. Also, we have Telegram, Facebook. We have a little bit of everything. If you have raptures or dreams, anything, dreams, visions, anything that you think of, it's in the description box. I want to definitely stress that there was a lot of questions I had about starting from 6 days, okay? The event is not going to happen in 6 days. I'm saying that God told me that in 6 days from now, events will start to take place. Many events, not just one event. And they're going to build, and they're going to build, and people's going to get scared. That's why he's letting us know, didn't fear not. He's coming in the storm. When this storm happens, when it comes, that's when he comes. So understand, it's not the event's going to happen in 6 days. I don't know if I just explained that wrong, or if everybody hears the 6 days and they just like, I don't know. But 6 days from now, events will start to take place around the world. And in these events, they're going to keep building from time. I don't know if it's weeks, months, whatever. In these times, it's going to get scarier and scarier. And God said that before the end of these events, people are going to be so frightened. And he's letting us know beforehand, before these events even start to take place around the world, to fear not. We have nothing to fear. That when it comes to its conclusion of all these events, and then the main event will happen, and it will be, and I don't even know if we'll even be here during the main event. But there will be a broadcast. This might not even be for us. But this could be months down the road. And this might not, like I said, it might not even be us. But this event, there will be a broadcast. So whoever sees this video or hears this video, know to fear not. Okay? That's what God just keeps telling me. Fear not, fear not. That he comes in the storm. So evidently we are still here when this happens. But a lot of people will be frightened, scared to death, whatever. But all these events are going to start to build and build and build. You're going to see things. The world's going to fall into chaos. I don't know if it's money, what it is, but it's just going to be bad news after bad news after bad news. And God says, fear not that all this has to come to pass before the end comes. And then we're raptured. That was the whole thing he was stressing to me. Is to let everybody know, to spread the word that Jesus is coming. Today is January the 29th. So, to break it down, events around the world are going to get scarier and scarier and scarier to the point where people will give up. And they will be frightened to death. Fear not, for he comes in the storm. That's what he was stressing to me. I don't know how anybody got that 6 days that all this stuff's going to happen. No, that's not what I said. I said in 6 days, events will start to build. And to fear not. I understand that God is in control, but these events have to happen before the end. Now I think I've stressed that even more important. And no, I don't put anything out unless it's from God. I've never done that on this channel. I never do. But when God tells me to warn everybody that there's going to be events to start to build and build and build all around the world, it's going to look like there is no hope that Jesus comes in the storm. Okay, now we've got that out. He's just letting us know that the events are going to start to build and build and build and build. And they already are. With stuff that's going on in Israel, it could pop at any time. Us sending tanks to Ukraine, and now we're talking about sending fighter jets and helicopters. All these events are going to start to build to where it's going to be so scary. I mean, it's going to be, people are going to be frightened to death. And God's saying, fear not. With all these events, they have to come to pass. Be ready for them. And if you're lost out there, and you be ready, call upon Jesus in this last day. Call upon him, and he will come, okay? Say, Jesus, come to me. I don't want to go to hell. If you believe that he died upon the cross for your past, present, and future sins, and you have faith that he rose up on that third day, and he is still alive and he's coming back, you are saved. And you're ready to get out of here with us. Because like I said, these events are going to be pretty bad. From what God is showing me, these events will keep coming and keep coming. The birth pains will keep growing and growing and growing. But it's already begun. But they're going to start getting worse. Here in about 6 days, the events are going to be noticeable to everybody. every week they're going to get worse, worse, and worse and worse. And people are going to lose faith, and they're going to be aggravated. They're going to like, oh, is Jesus coming? Is he coming? Have faith that Jesus is on his way. That's the whole thing of it that's going on right now. The things in Europe right now are ready to explode. It's any time. I mean, we're talking about nuclear things like it's nothing. And I know you all see it and hear it just like I am. They're talking about all the banks crashing. They're talking about everything and under the sun. Well, these things will start to come to pass eventually. They're not going to be hearsay. These things are going to come to pass. People's going to lose their money. The banks are going to crash. All this stuff is going to happen eventually. It's in the Bible. We already know it's coming. And that will lay siege to the beast system. That you can't buy anything. It's like these people that say the shot is the mark of the beast is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's not Bible. It's not in there. Because it says specifically, if you read your Bible, and I just pray that people just read their Bible because these people drive me insane. They don't know nothing about the Bible. They hear some podunk YouTube channel out there that has not read their Bible, and then they copy that, and it's gospel. It is not the Word of God. Read it. Read it for me. It gets on my nerves. I'm telling you, they drive me insane because they simply won't open the Bible, find it out themselves. And we had another one today that's in the comments. Well, don't tell them about a rapture because we're just ready to be. I mean, we're got to have the wrath. It's not in the Bible. You're not a Jew. Oh my goodness gracious, these people drive me insane. I mean, it's just so simple. They just won't open the Bible and find it out themselves. And I really feel sorry for them because they're going to answer for it because they're too lazy to open up the Bible and find it for themselves. It just drives me insane. I mean, it's there. If you just open it and find it, it's there. But they will go to ball games. They will watch TV all day. They will not open the Bible. And I'm talking churches, all of these people. They'll sit and listen to these people. Amen them. Don't know what's in the Bible. And God talks about this time. This is the apostasy of the church. We're in it right now. All these people that come in here about this post-trib and mid-trib, this is the apostasy that Jesus told us would come. People will think they're the Jews. It says it in the 7 churches in Revelation that there will be people that think they're Jews, and that's them. I mean, it's all happening in real time. It specifically says the church is not ready for wrath, okay? It does not face wrath. It says it right there. If these people would just take their little hand and open the Bible, I mean, it's so simple, but they will not do it, and they refuse to do it. They just want to get on here, watch what these other people say, and it's gospel. And I mean, it's just the laziness of people is just, I mean, and they have all the time in the world to just open the Bible, and they refuse to do it. Just refuse. And I'm telling you right now, 100% people, the post-trib and mistrib people on here have never read their Bible. They have not, because it's clear as day. There's no explanation behind it. There is none. They do not read their Bible, and they listen to what everybody else says. And it's just, I'm telling you, it drives me insane. Can't not deal with it. How lazy people are, that they will not open their Bible, find it themselves. They would rather sit and listen and let somebody else take them to hell. But you know what? What can you do? We're in the last days. That's all we can do. You got to pray for them and pray that their laziness goes away and they actually open up the Bible and learn it for themselves and realize they are not the Jews. Whew. Drives me insane. Telmo sent a lot of stuff yesterday. I want to thank him. Walter Sang. JP, Jessica Noli, Jasmine Ramirez, Elton James, also Angela Holloman. She sends so many great stuff. Natalie, Robert, Nick. Let's see, Monica Dow, Stephen Glenn Hill. Him and Stephen have been hanging out, and keep them in your prayers because they've had a lot of stuff coming to them trying to spread the gospel Rhonda Wilkins, Cheryl Hester, JoJo Piper, and Brittany Herbert. I want to thank all of them. But like I said, be ready. The events are going to start to take place. If God is warning us about it, that these events will start to become what I would say mainstream media news. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. And they're going to make people so scared and so frightened that God's warning us about it before it starts. That these events will start to take place. Doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly 6 days from now, but after these 6 days, events will start to pop up in the mainstream media. They're going to scare everybody to death, and they're going to keep building and building and building. A lot of that is probably to do with shots and different things that are coming again, and probably lockdowns. This stuff is probably coming back. But this time, it's going to be worse than it ever was before. And these events are going to start building. You're going to hear earthquakes, storms, floods, wars, everything. But it's going to build to the point that mainstream media is going to scare everybody to death. And then people are going to start to see it with their own eyes. And when you start to see it with your own eyes, you're going to be frightened. But God says right before this is going to build like birth pains. It's in the Bible. It's going to keep building, building, building to the main event. And the main event is going to scare people so bad that they will just want to end their lives because of what's coming upon the earth. Do I know what that is? No, God did not tell me that. I'm just telling you the events of what He told me to be ready to warn people about, so they won't be scared, to let them know His sheep. Now these other people, there's no helping them. They're going to be so frightened their heart's going to give out. But right before this main event, when it happens, and it's evidently going to be known to the world that this event's taking place. And it's going to happen, like I said, on this side of the continent. Whatever it is, I don't know. He did not tell me. I have no clue. All I know is for when this event happens, when it starts to take place, do not fear. Understand that God comes in the storm. That was the only message I got. Baby was letting me know that in 6 days, these events will start to build week by week by week, all the way up to the end. Whenever that is, I don't know. He didn't tell me that. So I'm not giving dates. People are like, you gotta be careful giving dates. Listen, when God tells me to tell you something, I tell you. I don't give you dates. I'm just saying in 6 days, all these events will start to build. I mean, people, they want God to warn them, but when God warns them, then they don't want it. I mean, it just drives me insane. Don't understand it. Save my life. God tries to help people, but people are so ignorant, they don't want help. They want it until they get it, then they get it, and then their minds go crazy, and they can't accept it. Understand that events are not going to get better. They're going to get worse. That's what God is saying. They're not getting better from this point on. But understand, you fear not, because Jesus gets us out here before it happens. Do not listen to these crazy post-trib, mid-trib people that's never opened their Bible and they think they're the Jews. They're not the Jews. They get all their junk from Matthew, and that's not us. We're under Paul's gospel. We're not ready. We don't get wrath because we accepted Jesus. These people think they're the Jews that did not accept Jesus. I mean, it cannot be more plain. I'm sorry. Either they've never read their Bible or they don't. I mean, they need help to learn it, because I'm telling you, it's right there. A kindergarten kid could understand it. I mean, I'm like, Lord, it's not difficult. I am not a smart person. And I mean, it's plainly right there. He's took me through it 3 or 4 times. I'm like, how can they mess that up? I mean, it's so plain. It's not confusing. It's right there. So my only thing is they've never opened their Bible. They've never read it, or they think they're the Jews. It's one or the other. But I mean, oh, God help us all. God said there'll be a lot of ignorant people at the end of the time. And boy, He was right. There's a lot of ignorant people. Scary times, people. If you don't believe we're at the apostasy of the church, check the comments out. Go to TikTok. Go to these places. And boy, once you really truly know the Bible and what's in it, you start to look around and you're like, oh my goodness, we're in trouble. People don't know the Bible. People's been in church 30 years. They don't know the Bible. They're preaching stuff that does not even exist in there. I'm like, oh my, until God took me through it, I had no clue how horrible these Christians are. I never knew it, but it's bad. It is really horrendously bad that people don't know the Bible. I thought people knew the Bible better than they do, but they do not. Until God showed me that, I did not believe it. But I'm telling you, it's horrible. And it's true. People do not know the Bible. And I'm talking a major percentage. And there's no excuse for it here in America. There's freedom to read it. It's just laziness. That's all it is here in America. I'm sorry. If you do not know the Bible in America, it's just people will not pick it up and try to learn. They just don't want to. But they can go do everything else and spend time with these celebrities and all this other crap and making films of themselves, acting ignorant. But they can't pick up a Bible. And God talks about it. It's right in Revelation. The end of the church, what it will be like. And boy, is it ever exactly the way it is right now. A generation don't respect their parents. They don't know God. They don't want to know God. A generation that's offended by everything. There are so many people in the comments, if you look at them wrong, they get offended. I mean, Jesus told us exactly what these people would do, and it's right there. Everything that's happening right now is in Revelation. Everything. And the world's asleep. That's in there too. People just going to and from. I could sit and scream that Jesus is at my front porch. Nobody would hear it. Nobody'd care. Heck, there was one woman that said, if he comes right now, we'll crucify him again. True story. And you don't think we're at the end of time? And that this world's about to end? I'm telling you, you're going to get left here if you don't wake up. Because the end is here. It is now. It is coming. He's at the door. And he's doing everything he can to possibly wake people up. And people do not hear him. Just like they didn't hear him during the flood of Noah. Did not hear him. And here we are again. Same thing. People rather be on TikTok and doing their thing. And these politicians, corruption all over the world. And just like this Moderna thing that came out. And I know a lot of you have seen it. About them admitting to putting these things out on purpose. I mean, people is correct. I mean, I hate to say this. But if Jesus don't come back soon, he's going to have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. Because we put them to shame here in America. And these people, these churches say, the great revival's coming to save what? America is past gone. Past gone. It is the most evil, corrupt nation on the planet right now. I mean, it's that bad. And the EU is right along with it. They're all combined. It's not just America. They're all tied. And that's where I think we got our problems at. The EU started kind of basically grabbing us and pulling us into them. And that's where all this stuff's coming from. I don't even think it's us. I think it's them over there. And that's where everything will happen. The great new world order, everything will happen in the EU. And it'll be part of all this system. It's not America. It starts over there. And you got to think, they've got their hands in everything, even in our government. They're pretty much running our government. Everything that happens in the EU, and they just grab us and pull us right into it. And it's been going on for a long time. But now this corruption's everywhere. And people just love the sin. They are so in love with sin right now. I'm telling you, it's 20,000 times worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. I can't even stand to look at it anymore. I'm like, Lord, it's got to end. And he's like, oh, it's coming to an end. And it's faster than what they think it is. And that's saying something. That came from God. It's faster than they ever thought it was. That the end is coming. And these people are going to be caught in the streets and all their stuff because they don't think Jesus is coming. And he is coming. He's coming to judge America. He's coming to judge the world. And it's very, very soon. For him to warn us ahead of time that these events are going to start to multiply and get worse than anything we've seen in our time. you better be ready for it. Because he is coming to judge. He's coming to judge for all these sins and all these people that just ignore him and don't want nothing to do with him. He's coming. Very, very soon. He's at the door. And let me tell you something. When these events start to take place, they're going to hide. They're going to run. They're going to run to their bunkers. And there's going to be nowhere to hide. Because I'm telling you, judgment has come upon this world. Jesus is coming. Be ready. Keep your eyes upon heaven. Look up at the sky, because I'm telling you, time is running out. If you don't hear or see from me again, I'll see you in heaven.